Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Roo and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video, I'm going to be rating your drafts. You've sent them in to me on my Twitter, on Threads, on YouTube, even some on TikTok, and I'm going to be rating them out of 10 and letting you know my thoughts on them. Before we get started though, please make sure you do smash a like on this video. If you see a draft that you like, let me know below too, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So first up, we have Aswin's team. So Nepali FPL guru. So he's got Pickford in goal, Areola as the sub goalkeeper, Zinchenko, Botman, Ake in defense, Foden, Maddison, Saka, Bruno Fernandes, Mitoma, Gabriel Jesus, and Haaland. Then his bench is Robertson, Bell, and Musqui. So just by looking at this, it does look like a really, really good team. Obviously, he's playing Botman in terms of game week 1 because they have not a better fixture than Liverpool, who have Chelsea away. So he's got Robertson. But for me, I'd try and get in Trent if you can raise that 1.5 million. Definitely get in Trent over Robertson. Maybe you have to downgrade Botman to a 4 million or downgrade Ake to someone. But for me, absolutely love your midfield. Could be a midfield I'm going to go for. I can't really see any players missing that are obvious. Obviously, Salah, you could go for, but again, you've gone for a more balanced team. And up front, again, I can't fault that. So the only advice or even a problem I have with this team is Robertson. I think you might as well go for either someone cheaper or another attacking fullback like Pedro Porro, who's only 5 million, and you can use that money to go elsewhere and upgrade elsewhere. But as the team looks, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. So really, really good start. It's just Robertson that is stopping me from giving it a 10. So next up, we have FPL Dawn's team. Pickford in goal, Estupinan, Trent, Gabriel, Mitoma, Rashford, Foden, Saka, and Buemo in midfield. Jesus, Haaland captain. On the bench, we've got Areola, Botman, Surridge, and Bell. For me, I think this team again is really, really good. My only, I wouldn't say issue, but yeah, no, to be honest, I don't have any issues with this team. I just probably prefer Fernandes over Rashford, but that's just a personal preference. Other than that, I think it looks really good. Botman doesn't start with great fixtures, so you could go for someone like Tyrone Mings or another 4.5 million defender until Newcastle's fixtures start becoming a little bit better. And then with that money, you could upgrade somewhere else. But for the time being, I think this draft looks great as well. I'm starting off with 2 great drafts, so well done to both of you. And I'm going to score this a 9 out of 10 as well. So next up, we have Andy Mack's team. So Pickford in goal. So all 3 teams have had Pickford in goal so far. Very interesting. Shaw, so someone that hasn't come up yet. Estupinan and Gabriel in defence. Salah, good, interesting, and good to see Salah in someone's team. Rashford, Mitoma, Saka, and Buemo. That is a powerful midfield. Yeah, looking really, really good with that midfield. And then Haaland up front with Ferguson. The bench is Areola, Botman, Bell, and Woodrow. For me, though, you are missing Trent, but you've got Salah. I do like the look of Ferguson if he starts, but I'm not too sure he's going to be starting every game, especially as Brighton have Europe. But you've got Salah in your team, so I can't really fault that. But for me, I'd rather have a better forward instead of Ferguson and have Trent than have Salah. So I'm probably going to give it an 8. But to be honest, I'm not hating at all. I love the fact that you got Salah in and Haaland and a really, really strong midfield. It's just I'm not too sure if Ferguson's going to be starting week in, week out, and you are missing Trent. Other than that, a really, really great team. And yeah, let me know below if you agree with me, and we'll move on to the next one. So next up, we have Andy Williams' team. Again, Pickford in goal. We've seen a lot of teams with Shaw and Trent, and again, Shaw and Trent. But we've got Stones in this team, which I do really like. Martinelli, Mbeumo, Rashford, Mitoma, and Foden. So really, really good midfield. Obviously, the big point in this field is Martinelli over Saka. For me, I'd much rather Saka. He's on penalties. Martinelli can get rotated with Trossard, maybe even Havertz now. So for me, I'd probably try and get Saka if you can. And then Gabriel Jesus and Haaland up top. So yeah, really, really good team. It's just that Martinelli over Saka. I think Saka is essential at this current stage. The bench is Areola, Botman, Bell, and Surridge. Again, you could probably downgrade Botman and try and get Saka if you don't have that money. And for that reason, because there's no Saka, other than that, it's a brilliant team. Again, you could downgrade Shaw in order to get the money for Saka. Yeah, really, really good team. So I'm going to give it an 8. But for me, I feel like Saka needs to be in the draft for everyone. And another thing, yeah, Stones is probably going to play, but there's always risk. But I think Shaw can be downgraded and then make that money for Saka. But let me know below if you agree with me or not. So next we've got Dan's team. Dan has gone for Ramsdale in goal. So the first time we haven't seen Pickford in any of these drafts. Stone, Shaw, and Estupinan. No Liverpool defender, no Trent. Grealish, Salah, Mount, Maddison, and Ciso. A very, very different midfield to what the template is, which is really good to see. Grealish, I don't hate. I think Foden is a better option, but I don't hate Grealish one bit. Salah, brilliant. Mount, I'm not too sure on Mount. I think you're better off trying to get the money to upgrade to Fernandes or to Rashford. Obviously, there's other players around that price point, so you could go Eze. For me, I'm just not too confident on Mount, and if he's going to play that kind of Eriksen role, play a little bit deeper. So for that reason, I probably wouldn't be going Mount. Maddison really like, and Ciso I really like. Yes, he's a minute's risk. Like I think most of the Brighton forwards and midfielders, apart from Mitoma, but I do like Ciso if he does look like he's going to start the season. Haaland and Jesus up front. On the bench, you've got Walton, Botman, Boldlock, and Surridge. For me, I do like this team. I just don't like Mount. If you can go Mount to someone else, then I think it is a great team. And again, you are missing Trent, which could be a risk, but at the same time, it could be a good decision. If you can downgrade Mount maybe and upgrade Shaw to Trent. But again, you've got Salah, so it kind of swings and roundabouts. So for that reason, I'm probably going to give it an 8. It's just the fact that Mount for me is just not sitting right. I'm fine with Grealish. I think that's a perfectly good pick. I just think Mount is way too risky and he could be playing a bit deeper. So in this draft, this is FPL Kulusevski's team. Probably a Spurs fan, I'm assuming, by the name and by the team. So Pickford in goal, and then Shaw, Udogie, Estupinan. Udogie's a very punty pick, but looking at, obviously I'm a Spurs fan, looking at our left-back options, he probably has to start. I don't think Sessegnon will start. I don't think Davis will start. So Udogie, yeah, probably is going to start, and I don't hate that pick at all. Maddison, Grealish, Son, Saka. Again, Spurs heavy. I think Maddison's a great price, 7.5, and so Son for how good he can be. If I had to be a bit picky, I'll probably say try and stick to one Spurs midfielder. I do feel like we do have a tough start. So we've got Brentford away and United at home in the first 2 games. And the history books say that Ange Postecoglou doesn't normally start the season well in terms of when he comes to a new team. It takes time for his team to get used to his methods. So for that reason, I'd probably take out one of Son or Maddison and maybe go for Bruno Fernandes or yeah, someone like that. Even like someone like Foden or yeah, but I think Bruno Fernandes or Rashford could be a good option. Up front, Haaland, Jesus, and João Pedro. I'm not too sure if João Pedro is going to start. That Brighton have a lot of attacking options: Ferguson and Ciso, Mitoma, Gross, March, but Bueno Nete, or how you say his name. So for me, probably wouldn't go João Pedro. Flecken on the bench and Buemo, Ahmed Dozik and Bell on the bench. For me, I think this is a good team, and I just think this is a perfect example of how FPL should be played. Put your spin on. You can have a template, but put your spin on it. If you're a Spurs fan, again, I'm assuming FPL Kulusevski is a Spurs fan. Then put players from your own team. Why not? Like, have some fun with it. There's nothing better than someone that you support is in your team and you get to cheer them on again and twice and more. But I'd probably only go for one Spurs midfielder. Having said that, I'm not too sure on João Pedro either. And I think your bench is probably a little bit too strong. Flecken is 4.5 million. You could probably go for someone that's 4 million. I don't hate Flecken as an option, as David Raya should leave. Obviously, I wish he came to Spurs, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen now. So unless David Raya leaves, I probably won't go Flecken. And if you do go Flecken, then I'll probably take out Pickford and go for a 4 million. And Buemo, I think he's good enough to play. Maybe your fault is going João Pedro and then Buemo are going to swap kind of every game week. If that's the case, I'll probably try and go for someone a little bit cheaper than João Pedro. I just don't think he's going to start. And for that reason, I do really love this team, but for that reason, I'm probably going to give it a 7 out of 10, just because there's kind of no Trent, like no Salah, no Kane. Obviously, it's hard to get these players in, but if you did go Son to Rashford or Son to Bruno Fernandes, or even downgrade João Pedro and maybe even just play Buemo and then upgrade one of the defenders, I think that would look good. But yeah, I love the Spurs players in this team, so big up to you. So the next one here is from Juan. Juan has Pickford in goal as well, with Shaw, Estupiñán and Trent at the back. Rashford and Buemo, Mitoma, Martinelli in midfield. Then up front, Haaland, João Pedro and Jackson, who's Chelsea's new signing. The bench is Areola, Maddison, Bell and Botman, so a really, really strong bench. I do like this team. Loads of differentials, but as I've mentioned already in this video, I think Saka is a better option than Martinelli. I don't think you can trust João Pedro. Is he going to start? If not, if he is, then fair enough. But I just can't trust that at the moment. And Jackson, again, is Jackson going to start for Chelsea? If he is, then okay, maybe he is a good option. I don't like the fact that Maddison's on the bench either. I think there's just too much money on the bench for me. So I'd be, if you're not looking to start Maddison, probably it looks like you're not going to start him against Brentford away. So I'm guessing you're not going to start him against Man United. And for that reason, I'd probably downgrade Maddison and then upgrade João Pedro or Jackson, and then try and get in Saka for Martinelli. But yeah, I don't hate these punts. I don't even hate Jackson, to be honest. If Jackson does start, I think he could be a good option. And Chelsea's fixtures do look good after that Liverpool game. So for that reason, for the creativity of this draft, I'm going to give it a 7. I just think the bench is too strong, especially as we do have a wild card we have to use before the new year. So next up, we have FPL Van Persie's draft. So in goal is Ramsdale and Edison. So just starting off, I think that's too much money in goal. I think if you're going to go for a premium goalkeeper, then your other goalkeeper should be a 4 million one. I don't think you need both Ramsdale and Ederson. For me, I'd probably prefer Ramsdale. You're saving 0.5 million. I think he'll make more saves and have more save points than Ederson. And I think the clean sheets will probably be about, well, will be similar, as at least I can't see City keeping a load more clean sheets than Arsenal this season. Defenses are Stupinan, Robertson, Shaw, Botman, and Ahmed Zosic. I don't know how to say that name, but yeah. Yeah, good defense. Again, I'm not too sure Robertson is the pick. I think the way Liverpool play in this midfield, he's likely going to be kind of dropping into a back three rather than being an attacking fullback. For that reason, I'd probably take Robertson out and try and get Trent or go to Pedro Porro or even you could go Ederson and go for an Arsenal defender instead. Midfield, Odegaard, March, Mount, Fernandez, and Rashford. So you're going double or triple United midfield. I'm not too sure I like that. I think you could go double Rashford and Fernandez. I don't hate that. I don't think it's the best player at this current stage of the season, but I don't hate it. I don't think Mount is the best option to go to triple up though. Actually, just looking at this, you've probably put Mount in before he's transferred to Chelsea. So you're probably going to have to take it before he's transferred from Chelsea. So you're probably going to have to take out Mount anyway. Otherwise, you won't be able to make any other transfers. So yeah, I'd be taking out Mount and going for Maddison or even someone like Mbeumo or Eze, just to have that little bit of money, and then you can upgrade Robertson to Trent, or you could even downgrade Robertson to Pedro Porro or Zinchenko, keep Ederson in goal, and then upgrade Mount to maybe someone like Son or even you could go Saka as well and go double Arsenal midfield. For the forwards, you've obviously got Haaland, you've got Adebayo, and you've got Moore. So I'm guessing that's Kiefer Moore. The picture was cut off, so I'm not too sure, but you do say Haaland, Adebayo, and Moore. So yeah, I'm assuming it's Kiefer Moore. I'm not too sure Kiefer Moore starts. I think Solanke is taking that spot, and I don't think Moore even got off the bench, or he did get off the bench quite a lot, and he did do well off the bench, to be fair, last season. But I just won't be starting with Kiefer Moore if that's who it is. Adebayo, again, I don't mind. I think I'd rather Morris if you're going to go for a Luton forward. But yeah, this team is different, which I do like. I like Odegaard over Martinelli, maybe not over Saka, but I don't hate it. March, I don't mind. Bruno Fernandes and Rashford double, I don't mind. I'm just not too sure on Mount, not too sure on Robertson, and the strike force doesn't really hit it for me. I think if you're going to go for a Luton forward, go for Morris, and I don't think Kiefer Moore is a player you should put in your team. I'd also think downgrade one of the premium goalkeepers that you have. I don't think you need two premiums. But yeah, overall, I think it is a good team. It just needs probably a few tweaks. And obviously, you've got 4 Man United, so you can't make them tweaks unless you take one of them out. Yeah, for that reason, I'm probably going to go 6 out of 10. But definitely good foundations of this team, and I like the fact that you're confident with Man United and you've gone for some differential forwards. I think Morris could be a good option for people's teams. So yeah, definitely like that. And yeah, keep going. So next up, we've got Tommy's 2 drafts. I try and do these side by side so we don't have to read over kind of both teams. So we've got Ramsdale in one of them and then Areola starting in the other one. Stones, Baldock, James, Estupin and Shaw. Rashford, Saka, Haaland, Kane, and Kunku, sorry. On the bench, you've got Areola, Anderson, Bowler, and Andre Gomez. I know you said that, forget about the bench, that could be anyone. I'm not too sure on 5 at the back, if that's what you're going to be playing all the time, to be honest, but I kind of understand it. If you are going for Haaland, Kane, and Nkunku, Rashford, Saka, pretty big. What I'd probably do with this draft is I'd go for what would I do? I'd probably downgrade. It is a hard one. I'd probably downgrade and Kunku. Yes, I do think he could do well, but if you just downgrade him to someone a little bit cheaper, you could even go. Who could you go for? You go for a Luton forward, and then you got that money to upgrade Bulldog, or and then play four, or even down, or leave him like that and play four at the back, and then try and use that money to strengthen your midfield. But yeah, I don't hate this draft. I think James is a good option. I think Poch will get them playing well, and you know how good Walker and Rose were under Poch for Spurs. So yeah, I kind of like that pick. The formation, not too sure on that one, but I think you can definitely downgrade one of the players and upgrade Bulldog. Kane, love it. I've been trying to get Kane in my drafts all week, and I've really struggled. So yeah, I love to see this. I just don't know if you can have Nkunku and Kane up front. I think you're gonna have to sacrifice one of them just to get that extra midfielder that plays and does well. But yeah, other than that, I kind of like this draft. I'm gonna go for a 7. I like James. I like Kane. It's different as well. And yeah, I'm all for that. Your other one, so Areola, Zinchenko, Trent, Estupinan, Botman, and Buemo, Foden, Madison, Kane, Hart, or Carlin Kane, Jesus. Yeah. So yeah, this is the one. I like this one. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, you're missing Saka or an Arsenal mid, but you've got Jesus there, so that's fair enough. You could say you're missing maybe a United mid, but again, you've got kind of Foden there, so you could even try and make up the money and go Fernandes. But I don't hate this at all. I actually really like this draft. The only thing that's kind of putting me off is okay. First of all, let's go to the goalkeepers. I like the goalkeepers. I think Leno makes saves, and if Areola is West Ham's #1 keeper, then I think he's a great option, which is rumored to be. Botman, not too sure he's the best to start the season with. I think you could go someone like Mings, and then I think Villa will be strong defensively, and Newcastle's fixtures are looking a bit rough to start the season. They've got Villa, then City away, and Liverpool. So not the best to start the season, and their defense weren't that great towards the end of last season anyway. So if you can go, you can even downgrade Botman and even upgrade Foden if you wanted to, but I don't. Again, I kind of like the midfield and forward, so I'd probably just go Botman to Mings, and I'd give this team an 8 out of 10. I really do like it. Okay, you're missing Saka, but you could probably get to Saka if you downgrade Botman, and then maybe downgrade Madison. But for me, yeah, I like this team. It's different, and yeah, really good. 8 out of 10. So the next draft is from FPL Ball. Pickford in goal, Trent, Estupinan, and Shaw defense, very solid. Rashford, Mitoma, Buemo, Madison, and Saka. Saka captain. I'm not too sure if that is on purpose. If it is, why not? Rate that. If it's not, then you're probably going to be going Haaland. But yeah, you've got Haaland and Jesus. I actually really like this draft. To be honest, it's probably close to the draft I'd be going for. I'd probably go, for me, in my draft, I'd probably be going like maybe Rashford for Fernandes, and maybe and have it like that. But I really do like this draft. You got Shaw as well, which is tough to get. Shaw, Trent, and Haaland, and Rashford, and Saka. So now I think this draft's looking good. Probably the closest to what I'd be going for. And you got Botman on the bench, which obviously at the moment you're probably not going to play, but when Newcastle's fixtures do turn, you know that you've got him ready there for to try and capitalise on Newcastle's clean sheets if they do start doing well defensively. For me, yeah, I actually really like this draft. If I had to make, I probably wouldn't make a change, so I'm going to have to give it 10 out of 10. I actually really like it. again, time will tell if it is going to be a 10 out of 10. Things could change throughout pre-season, but for now, I don't think I'd suggest any changes. I really do like this draft. So yeah, good stuff. Let me know if you agree below. So here's Christian's team. So Flecken, Travers, so two Brentford goalkeepers. I'm assuming Christian thinks David Raya is going to leave, so that's why. And yeah, that's fair enough. Good choice if he does leave. Then you've got Trent, Botman, Ben Mee. Interesting. Don't see him in a lot of drafts. Roberts for Burnley and Bell for Luton. At midfield is Son, Eze, Buonanete, Matoma, Kulusevski. So strong midfield. Loving the Spurs presence. I know you're a Spurs fan, so good to see that. Then you've got Kane, Haaland, and Wood. So to be honest, I think you've done really well to get Trent, Son, Kane, Haaland in one team, and I do rate that. For me though, I'd probably be taking out. I know it's hard to say, but I'd probably be taking out Kane. I'd probably be taking out Son. If you can sacrifice Son and even go to Maddison, I'm not saying get rid of all your Spurs players, but go Son to Maddison, then you've got that extra 1.5 million, and you can even go Ben Mee to someone like Estupinan. Could be a good option. I'm not too sure if you want Arsenal players in your team, but if you did, then you could go Zinchenko. You could even go Son to Saka and save 0.5 million and go Ben Mee to Zinchenko or Roberts to Zinchenko. But yeah, I love the fact you got Kane, Son, and Alexander-Arnold in that draft. So I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Your defense is not obviously typical, but I like the fact that you've got options. You've got Botman when fixtures turn, you've got Ben Mee, you've got Roberts, you've got Bell, and then you've got the solid of Trent there that's going to play week in, week out for you. But yeah, no, I think this is a great team and love the Spurs representation. And yeah, come on, you Spurs. So next up, we've got it's Trev EU, FPL. So Ramsdale in goal, Trent, Estupinan, Shaw, Soboslai, Mbeumo, Matoma, Saka, then Nkunku, Haaland, and Gabby Jesus up front. A bench of Areola, Botman, and Ciso and Bell. Again, another strong team. I'm not too sure on Soboslai though. I don't think he's going to be that attacking. I think it's a big risk going for him. I think there's other options out there that you could go for. Again, I think Eze is a great option if you can get to even someone like Maddison. But you can definitely use that or even downgrade and go for someone cheaper. Nkunku. Sorry, Spurs had a player called Nkunku, and it's in my head now. But Nkunku is a risk, but okay, if you want to take it, that's fair enough. I just think Szoboszlai is too early. I don't think he's going to be attacking enough. Liverpool's midfield never really score goals. Henderson, Milner, Fabinho, Wijnaldum got a few here and there, but not enough to put in your FPL team. I'd probably try and get another Liverpool midfielder if you can. I think Jota is now a midfielder. So if you can get to Jota, then yeah, I'd probably rather go Jota. But yeah, apart from that, I do like the team, so I'm going to go for a 7 out of 10. And I love the fact you got Enciso on the bench, strong bench, but cheap at the same time. So yeah, good, really good stuff. So FPL James's team is Leno, Trent, Gabriel, Estupinan, Matoma, Bruno, Saka, Mbeumo, Foden, Jesus and Haaland up front. The bench is Pickford, Henry, Bell, and Vinicius. I actually really like this team as well. I feel like I say that for every team, but so far they've been really good teams. So smashing it, everyone. I can't wait to see your final teams. But yeah, this team is looking really good. I kind of like the two 4.5 million goalkeepers. Both of them keep loads of saves, which is really, really good. And especially last season, they weren't up there for clean sheets, but for saves, they were up there. So that's really good sign to have for your goalkeeper. Midfield, I can't fault it. I think it's a brilliant midfield and strike force, really good. If you wanted to save some money and maybe upgrade an position, but again, I don't think you need to, then you could drop Vinicius, you could drop Henry. But for me, I actually really like this team, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Even a 10 out, let's go 10 out of 10. I actually really do like this team. So the things I'm picking on are just bench options, which don't really matter at this moment. Maybe if you're 4.5 million short in game week 3 for a move, then maybe you can look at it as a hindsight thing. But for now, yeah, strong bench, strong midfield, strong defense, strong front line, 2 good 4.5 million keepers. Yeah, really great stuff. So 10 out of 10 for me. And yeah, that's the end of the video. If you have liked it, please smash a like. Let me know what you think of the teams below. If you can just go through, even give your own scores out of 10, that would be really good. And subscribe to the channel if you are new, as it really does help me out, allow me to make more videos for everyone. And yeah, let me know below what you think of the drafts, and I'll catch you in the next one. Rue me.